If you clicked on this video, odds are you want to start working out. But for whatever reason, every time you plan to start working out or think about it, you never manage to follow through. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the most common obstacles that hold people back when wanting to start working out, as well as some tricks to maintain consistency once you start working out, and then finally I'll tell you the trick to starting working out as soon as possible. The first reason that I hear is that people don't have enough time. There's a common misconception where to work out you need like at least an hour block, and then you need to be prepared and all of that, and all in all it takes like an hour and a half or something. Especially when starting out, you don't need to work out for a full hour. Most of the time also when you're working out for a full hour, it'll be because you're hitting multiple parts of the body, not just kind of one area. And also because they're doing more advanced exercises and just know the workout better overall. When you're starting and you haven't built a habit yet, it can be really helpful just to practice getting into the flow of things. For example, if you had a bit of time where you were pretty confident you could fit a workout eventually, instead of starting off with an hour-long workout, which would be a big commitment, you can start off just by laying the foundations for the habit. Just get used to putting your clothes in the right spot so that they were there when you're ready, or getting changed, going to the spot, doing a few push-ups or something, and then just really laying the groundwork for the habit. In those moments, you're not actually, doing a full workout, but what you're doing is you're teaching your body what to do and where to go at that time of day to help create a lasting habit that you can utilize later. As you become more comfortable with this, and as the habit gets easier over time, that's when you can start to make the workouts longer and start incorporating more. At that point, it'll feel like less of a commitment since you're used to working out already, and it'll be easier and more enjoyable to start doing longer workouts. On top of this, if you want to keep workout time a bit lower, you can work out more frequently and then do slightly shorter workouts. So for example, instead of doing a full body workout where you need to do legs, core, upper body, and then also the push and pull that upper body is comprised of, you could just focus on one area. So for example, my workouts during the week, I do a pull workout, a push workout, legs and core, and then like an upper body workout. And by splitting the parts of the body into different workouts, you can make shorter workouts because you need less exercises to cover everything you're targeting. Another trick for finding time is try pay attention throughout the day when you stop to watch YouTube or when you start scrolling on your phone. Those parts of the day, especially when you do that for more than 30 minutes, are key points where you could be working out. If you notice that you do something like scrolling or watching YouTube at a certain time of day consistently, then this could become a workout time. Finally, there are only 168 hours in a week, and there's only so much you can do. So if you're super busy, you may need to consider sacrificing time that you'd normally spend doing something else. For me, I ended up sacrificing a bit of gaming time, and I also followed what I mentioned just then, which was I identified in the morning that I would mostly just sit around and watch YouTube prior to going to school or work, so I replaced that time instead with working out. The next obstacle I hear people stop them from working out is that they don't have enough knowledge to start. They don't know the proper technique, or how many sets and reps to do, or how long to wait between exercises. The best way to get over this is to just start, which may sound counterintuitive, but the fastest way you learn anything is through experience. No one starts with the knowledge, is essentially what I'm trying to say. People that are great at working out once started where you did, with no knowledge on how to work out, no knowledge on form or anything else, but it's something that you build up over time, and the sooner you start, the more time you'll have to build up that knowledge. Another way to look at it is that starting with no knowledge is a good thing, because it means that everything you learn at the start will be new and all information will be helpful. If you start with no knowledge and you search up a video on how to do a push-up properly, then you'll learn so much from any video that you pick, and it'll just be so easy to start picking things up at the start. Building on that, it can also be really fun to start learning things that way. Outside of school and work, where there's no one forcing you to learn anything, if it's something that you're interested in, when you start learning it, you may find it to be really enjoyable. And personally, I've started to enjoy learning more about calisthenics and working out. So I actually look forward to when I get stumped on something, because it means I'll get to learn how to do it better. The last common reason I hear people say as to why they can't work out is they don't have enough money to start. They can't afford a gym membership or some other sort of equipment that they think they need. But to start working out, especially with calisthenics, all you need is your body and a little bit of space. Things like push-ups, sit-ups, squats, planks, things that work pretty much your entire body other than pull strength, can be accessed without needing to spend any money. especially with things like pull-up bars or like door frame attachments. You don't need those in the beginning. And on top of that, you can find places outside of your house. There are places near my place, for example, with bars like playgrounds that you can do pull-ups at. So really in the beginning, you don't need any equipment. Even if you do need equipment, it doesn't need to be expensive equipment. I do recommend if you're going to get something like a pull bar or something to attach to a door to do pull-ups on, that you find something sturdy just because you don't want that to break. But other things like bands, you don't need to get super fancy bands or just other equipment. It doesn't need to be super expensive. Next, I'm going to look at some things that will help you maintain consistency once you get going. The first trick here is to create a workout ritual, which may sound weird, but it's essentially just a string of small habits that help you get to the workout. For example, in the morning, when my alarm goes off, I get a drink of water, open my curtains, and get changed into my workout clothes that I've set on my table the night before. From there, I'm already in my workout clothes. I just go on a short walk, and then once I get back, I go straight into a workout. That string of small habits leads me into the workout, and in the morning, I don't need to think about it. I just get up, and a few minutes later, I'm working out. A ritual like that, regardless if it takes place in the morning, afternoon, or evening, can really help create consistency in your workouts and keep you going, especially on days where you don't feel like it. If you're struggling to think of where your workout ritual might fit in, try think about tying it onto the end of existing habits that you have. For example, in the morning, I already woke up and went on a short walk. So all I did was tag the workout onto the end of that. And it means that you don't need to create a new habit from scratch. Instead, you can just tag it onto the end of something that you already do. Next is to find a way to make it enjoyable. It's really hard to stick with things that you don't enjoy, so making working out enjoyable is absolutely crucial if you want to maintain consistency. Whether it's listening to music to keep you occupied, or finding a spot that you enjoy working out, so maybe instead of in your room or in the living room, you do it in your backyard, or maybe there's a nice spot down the road you can work out. But finding a way to make working out enjoyable is crucial. Other examples of this could be experimenting with different types of exercises, and also different times of day. So for me, I'm a morning person, and I find that I have the most energy in the morning. So working out in the mornings made the most sense for me. When I worked out in the afternoons, I'd often find myself tired and then put it off till the evening, and then in the evening put it off till the next day. So for me personally, I found working out in the mornings was easiest, but I know for other people it definitely varies. So just really experimenting and finding out what works for you and what you enjoy is a really great way to build consistency. My final tip for building consistency is to track and celebrate small wins. Write down your personal record each time you get it for an exercise. When I first started, I wrote down how many pull-ups I could do. I started off being able to do 2. Slowly, week by week, I got to watch my maximum amount of reps go up. It was only ever by one every week or 2, and sometimes it wouldn't change at all. But over the course of a month or so, you can really start to see improvement, and it's really motivating. On top of this, be sure to set small goals as well as big ones. So back to the pull-up example, I started off being able to do 2, and my goal was to get to 10. When I got to 10, it was a really big moment, and even though I was still just doing pull-ups, it felt like I had really achieved something. As well as setting small goals, you can also tie in enjoyable habits or things to the end of a workout to help reinforce the habit of working out. So for example, having a shower after working out or having a snack that you enjoy. It is important to note with this though, that you don't want to tie on bad habits to the end of a workout. Stuff like scrolling or eating junk food, as this can, I guess, counteract the progress that you make working out and also makes bad habits harder to break. Now we've looked at some things that hold people back when starting working out, as well as some tricks to maintain consistency once you start. Now I'm going to reveal the trick to getting started. Just before I do that, I wanted to share a quote with you that I really like. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the next best time is today. The thing stopping you from working out is what you're doing right now. Waiting for the perfect moment. Especially with working out and anything else in life, there is no perfect moment, and the best time to start is now. The sooner you start, the more time you'll get to work on it, and the further you'll progress. So truly, the best advice that I can offer to anyone wanting to start working out is start now. Find some clothes to work out in after watching this video, and find a spot and just start doing some basic workout movements. You can do push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and just do that for a few minutes, and then finish. Write down what went well, what didn't. We'll think about what went well, what didn't go well, and then make a plan for next time. And really, the goal here is just to start working out. It It doesn't matter if the workouts are terrible. It doesn't matter if in the first few weeks you make no progress. The trick is just to start. Because as you start, you'll get into it, you'll learn how to start making habits, and you'll start learning proper form and technique. And after a few weeks, you won't even realize it. You will have gone from just putting on clothes and doing a few push-ups to more formed workouts. It can take a while to go from doing that and just starting out to getting proper workouts and seeing real progress, but it does happen and you will get there. The process takes time and you just need to be patient with it. A lot of people will start and give it a go for a week or two. They won't see any changes or they'll start to struggle and then they'll stop. Instead, you need to push through the first few weeks to start seeing progress. After about the first month or so, if you stick with it and keep making improvements where you can, you'll start to see progress. Either way, if you've never worked out before or have started and stopped in the past, with this information, you'll be able to start working out and hopefully achieve your goals. Now that you know all this, what are you waiting for? Get some workout clothes, find a spot, and do your first workout. Good luck everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.